a great part. And he's, okay. So he walked away. So I tried to memorize it, but I really couldn't. I think I maybe got it down once. I think I had about a half hour to go over it. And so I just said, okay, I'm going to be fired. You know, there's certain things you just can't fix, you know. So fine, I'll get fired. Darn, I'm really a big fan of this show. I really wanted to do this show. So I'd resigned myself. So that kind of got rid of the nerves. So that was, I guess, a good thing to do, because being nervous is not good at all. But not caring might be able to, you know, clear the way for some creativity to maybe come through. You know, who knew? Anyway, he says, you're on. It's like, oh, okay. He says, and now he remembered what I did a half hour before. He says, how do you feel? I said, I'm fine. You know, I'm cool. You know, I made peace with being fired. You know, so I'm cool. You know, it's fine. So I get on the set, and I thought there's one out. And I thought, if they break it up into pieces and shoot it so that they can edit it together, and so I can do, you know, maybe, you know, 10 sentences and 10 sentences in 10 seconds, you know, a close up or a long shot or over the shoulder or something like that. I thought maybe I could get away with it. I could pull it off. So I'm thinking that, and I get up to the director and I go, hey, listen, how are we going to shoot this? And he goes, oh, it's just going to be a walk and talk. We're just going to do it in one shot. You do the whole thing at once. And I'm going, hey, how about breaking it up into sections? How about that? And he goes, no, one shot. We're just going to do it all at once. And I just go, oh, okay. He says, something wrong? I go, no, let's just do it. Fine. So he goes, okay. I'll say, get way down there. He points down. We're in the junkyard. He points way down there. And he says, okay, just start walking towards the camera. You're talking to the cop, you know, Brian and Aaron are in this Winnebago, locked in the Winnebago. And now the really hard part of it was, not only was it a speech that's a page long, but it's all legal jargon. It's legalese. It's I'm trying to tell the cop that I know the laws that prevent the cop from going into the Winnebago because it's on my property and he needs a search warrant, which he doesn't have. So that's what I'm quoting him just legal stuff in the law that prevents him from going in there, because they'll be busted if they do. So it's important stuff. And so I said, okay. And he says, okay, Larry, you know, start walking and talking. Action. So I'm just ad-libbing. I'm improvising what I'm trying to memorize and thinking, well, you know, I'll just do my best and I'll just rattle on, and when I get to the end, I'll be fired. Cool. So I'm walking and talking and walking and talking and walking and talking, and I get to the camera and he goes, okay, cut. And I'm expecting him to say, hey man, you're fired. And all he says is, okay, let's just do that again. Go back to spot one. And I go, that threw me. He didn't mention anything. He didn't say anything. Oh, wow, I must have done it right. Okay, great. So I totally relaxed, and I figured, wow, now I can relax. Even if I make a mistake, they've got it. So I don't have to worry anymore. And so I just, you know, I can make a mistake now. So I go back to the one, and now I'm just rattling it off, you know, doing my best, you know, to just get it down, but I'm not worried about making a mistake. We get to the end, he goes, okay, he says, let's do it just once more, okay? Just once more for insurance. I go, okay, fine. I'm just acing this. This is amazing. So the third time I get back, and then I see, I don't know if you know who the script girl is. She's there's a girl with the script in her hand, or a woman. It's generally a woman. That's why I call her script girl, but guys do it. So she's walking towards me. I'm on spot one again. And that's a bad sign, because when the script girl starts to walk towards you, that means that you've said something wrong or made a mistake, and she's coming over to tell you what the mistake is and to correct it right before you start again. So she comes over, and I'm bracing. I'm saying, you know, what did I say wrong? And she comes over and she shows me the page that I had to memorize, and every other word is circled. And she says, you've got to say it verbatim. And I go, yeah, but he didn't say anything. The director didn't say anything. He says, the director told me that you have to say it verbatim. And she was very adamant about it. And I'm saying, let me talk to the writer. And she says, the director wrote this, say it verbatim. And she's like, kind of PO'd at me. The director wasn't, but she is. So I say, okay. And then the director yells, is something wrong, Larry? And I go, no, nothing's wrong. He says, okay, then let's do it again. And so I say, okay, fine. And he goes, action. And I start walking and talking. Now I'm sweating it. I'm trying to, I don't know what I said. And I get to the end and he goes, okay, thank you. Moving on. And that was it. He didn't say anything and I was dismissed. And, he said, thank you very much, Larry. Great. Fantastic. And I had done another scene before, which was the audition scene. And that was okay. So I guess I was finished for the day and I went home. And I was very confused. So I waited 2 weeks to see how they were going to, that's important stuff that I was supposedly saying, how they did that, how they were going to use it, and why nobody said anything to me except the script. And what happened was, and this is incredible, this is why my friend's production company is called Movies is Magic. And here's the magic. What he did was, and he knew it all along, because as I was walking and talking the first time, there was obviously I hadn't memorized it. I was just saying a lot of stuff about the reason he couldn't get in, quoting law that either was true or wasn't true. I was improvising legalese, is basically what I was doing. And the director picked up on that immediately. And he figured if I did it 3 times, he'd have enough information to break it up, just like what I had said in the first place. And that's what they did in the show. So he took all the improvisation, the 3, basically trying to make it up. I didn't think I was improvising. I thought I was saying, the true stuff. And what he did was, if you look at it again, there's no reason to, but how it was shot was, you start with me that my first line was right on. I did memorize the first line. So that was on me. And then after I said the first line, my voice went to voiceover over a picture of a shot of the cop I was talking to, and it stayed on him. And then it cut into the Winnebago where they were, hunkered down, hiding in the Winnebago, and you hear my voice over. And then while I'm talking, they had lines that were superimposed over my lines. So you hear them more than you hear it's just guy outside going blah, 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 blah. And then you cut to me with another line that I had memorized or got right. So basically, it was me, them, the cop, them, the cop, them, the cop, me for a second, them, the cop, me for a second. Just little lines of me talking. And then it was what he had cobbled together as and was all voiceover. And I asked my friends, I said, did you see me acting in that? I go, yeah. Well, what did you see? I said, you walking and talking. I said, no, look at it again. I measured it. I was on screen for, I think, less than 10 seconds. It was just what they had edited together legally that sounded even legal. So movies is so amazingly plastic. And I think basically what I've come to the conclusion is if there's a film in the camera, you can't make a mistake. Even if you're blurred, even if it doesn't come out of focus. This was you ever hear of the movie The Candidate? It's a black and white film with Frank Sinatra about a guy who was brainwashed. Anyway, one of the great stories about that film is Frank Sinatra did his part and was going to fly to Las Vegas because he had a gig. There was a car waiting outside because he had to appear on stage that night, and a flight was waiting for him. So as soon as he finished this last shot, they loaded him in a car, and he was whisked to the airport, and he was gone. So he told, I think it was Frankenheimer, or one of those great directors. He told him before, he said, listen, I have to get to the airport at a certain time, so I can only do one take. And then I got to leave, man. I really do. I'm sorry. Just get it right, okay? And just one take, and I'm out of here. So Frankenheimer says, okay, I'm going to work the camera because I can't, there can be no mistakes here. So Frankenheimer shot the shot. Sinatra hops in the car and disappears. So whatever Frankenheimer got, that's what he had to live with. And when he looked at the rushes, it was out of focus. And there was no way, and Frank wouldn't come back for a reshoot. When Frank leaves, he's gone. And that's it. He wouldn't come back. So Frankenheimer said, I don't care. The shots have to match. Like there was a close-up of the guy he was talking to, and then a close-up of Frank. Close-up of the guy he was talking to, and close-up of Frank. And he said, I don't have any other shot to cut to. So I can't have a guy talking to Frank Sinatra, the star of the film, and Frank Sinatra is not in the shot. It's just this guy talking to who? And you just hear Frank's voice. So he said, put the blurred thing in there. And he says, yeah, but it's blurred. He said, I don't care. I just need it. Just do it, man. I don't care. If they're going to, review the movie as bad because there's one shot, I don't care. I'm not going to leave a blank spot where you don't see Frank Sinatra. I'm sorry. So they okay, fine. They released the movie. The movie was reviewed, and the review said, I've read the review. It actually was in there. In the thing, he said, it's a great movie, but one of the great genius moves that Frankenheimer invented was the fact that the guy Frank Sinatra was talking to was brainwashed. And Frankenheimer had the point of view of the brainwashed guy looking at Frank Sinatra, and his POV was blurred, as if you are looking through the brainwashed man's own mind. Like they took it as a plus, like it was the great genius trope of cinema to show what the guy thought Frank Sinatra looked like. I mean, they assumed the whole thing, and he got a great review. The whole movie got a great review. So film is, and I've talked to a lot of stars who say the same thing. He says, I've never been bad in a movie, according to the reviewers, because the editing room, if you're bad, they don't use it. They cut it out, and they don't see how bad you really were. And I've looked at my parts, I will always watch my parts just to learn from it. And the bad stuff never appears, the editors cut that out. If I flub a line, or I say the wrong thing, or I move off camera, or I trip, it's so cool. So you're always backed up. So there's another reason to relax, when you're in a film. I've learned.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, there's always a story. With the interviewing people, I've you always seem to get nervous no matter how many times, but I've learned that too. Like when there's some kind of technicality, like, oh, great. Something little thing happens, and I just tell myself that you're good at this. You can edit that, and you can make that amazing.
Exactly.
I had to tell myself.
Right on. As long as there's tape. Yeah, as long as you're not on stage in real time with a paid audience. Other than that, if it's recorded some way, digitally on film or tape, as you guys do, you're safe.
Yeah, I'm not live. I can't take that back.
When you're live, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the difference. Movies is magic. That's what he's talking about. It's film.
Yeah, definitely. That's so awesome. I've had just the best time with you today. And I feel like I'm taking away with you like lessons too, even though, it's acting and I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just, I gained something from each of my guests, and I'm sitting here applying and listening to what you're saying, and